Hey guys, Captain Smash, Smash Strength Lab here in Ottawa, Ontario. So this is the vlog post for today on how often you should change your workout program. So now this is a very easy question for me to answer because the higher level up you go, the more frequently you should change your workout program. So just because your body is well adapted and accustomed to training hard. So for an advanced individual, about 3 to 4 weeks, you're gonna wanna change up your program. So now, how we mitigate this in a lot of circles, and I do this with my own clientele as well, is we follow more of a conjugate-based system of training. So this is based off of a kind of a West Side model where you're changing up certain movement patterns just a little bit in order to keep progression and keep training hard without causing undue injury. So now I use this almost exclusively here at the Strength Lab for all of my clients in some various degrees. So the programs are always changing, they're always variable. That way it keeps it fresh and it keeps it motivating and challenging at the same time. But you're never gonna see the same workout more than once. So now, for intermediate lifters, so now I say intermediate lifters, I'm talking about somebody that's maybe been pushing weight for about 1 to 2 years. They are accustomed to the movements, the squat, bench, deadlift, whatever, but they're not really past that stage where they can still sustain their gains, and they want to change their programs up about every 4 to 6 weeks. So now if you're a rank beginner, this is the time period where a lot of people start off and they can have really good success on just about any sort of program that they push themselves into doing, and they can generally stick with that for about 8 to 12 weeks, sometimes up to a year or more depending on the program. So all this said is you want to change your program, but you want to consider what level you're at. So if something isn't broken, why fix it? So keep doing what you're doing if it's working, and if it stops working, well, you should probably change it. So just a general rule of thumb, advanced lifters, every 3 to 4 weeks, you should look at changing something in your program. Make it a little tougher, make it a little harder, different exercise pairings, variations. So intermediate, a little bit longer, probably about, between the 2-month program, you're probably gonna wanna change things up a little bit just to keep on that adaptation curve and keep your body responding. So for rank beginners, just pick a program and run with it and see what happens, and give it some time to work, follow through with it. So now I see a lot of people running back and forth in between different training programs. This is also faulty as well. So you don't want to switch gears in the middle of a training program, and guys are notorious for doing this. I've done this a lot myself. It's like, ooh, that's shiny, let's trace that. Stick with the program for a required time period, follow it through, and then learn from it. So now, a couple key factors in what happens when you stick on a program too long, I call brain fatigue. Like if you're on a program too long, it's just gonna get boring. You're just gonna walk into the gym and go, I hate doing these squats. These 3 sets of 10 just are not doing it for me anymore, and it feels easy. So it's not challenging, so you need to program in some variability into your program in order to keep your mind fresh as well, because if you're not pumped up about your workout, your body's not going to be pumped up either. So also along the lines of recovery, challenge, and adaptation. So one of the main things why I put these in 3-week blocks for the advanced, 4 to 6 weeks for intermediate, and 8 to 12 weeks for the beginner are your adaptation period is going to be much shorter the higher level up you go. You're going to have to stimulate your body harder. You're going to have to find new ways to challenge it to do more things. So, and also keep in mind that your body can only recover from so much heavy lifting, hard training, hard sprint training. So you have to program that in when you get more advanced. When you're a rank beginner, you can do a whole bunch of exercises and they're all probably going to work pretty well. And you'll probably be able to recover from it because the loads are not extreme. So, keep that in mind. Your program intensity should change as you get to a more advanced stage. And when you're a beginner stage, your program intensity is going to be low enough already so you can do a million different things in the gym. They're all probably going to have some similar benefit. So now life variables, this is the biggest challenge with coaching live people, is because, we've got vacations, we've got jobs, we've got kids, we've got busy schedules. Like trying to program a solid mainstay program that flows naturally is just impossible, which is why here at the Strength Lab we work on templates. We work on fundamental movement principles and a conjugate base of training that focuses on a periodized program that keeps them running through fundamental movement principles while changing the intensity, the load, and the volume of the exercises all on a concurrent basis. So it just keeps the ball rolling. Like right now we're rolling into a heavy strength phase where we're gonna be picking up heavier weights. We just got out of a lighter phase where we were working more on a bodybuilding type style of lifting with a lot of volume and a lot of different exercises to help build up some muscle mass, and now we're gonna focus more on strength. So, but life happens, and sometimes you got to take time out to go on vacation. Sometimes you got to deal with the kids. So having a little bit of flex and give in your program will allow you to accommodate those certain life variables that are going to pop up. They're just always going to happen. So now, the also advantage of having an end of your program is it allows you to evaluate and also experiment. So a good program, you should take something away from each and every program that you finish and go, okay, what worked and what didn't work? So this is called our assessment phase. Okay, I really felt that bench press with the bands, the reverse bands was really beneficial, and it helped my bench out because why? The numbers went up. So, or I really felt that doing front squats was horrible in my program. They hurt my shoulders, I couldn't get down low, and they tweaked my back half of the time. So it helps you figure out what sort of exercises are going to really work for you and give you the most bang for your buck, and also exercises that are probably not going to be a mainstay in your program, or maybe you just need to work harder at them to get better at them. And this all boils down to experimentation and designing your own perfect program, or figuring out what is the best mixture of weights and conditioning and flexibility, mobility options that are available to you. So you should always have this in the back of your mind, is like every program is an experiment on your own body to get your body to the next level. Wherever your point B is, you want to get there. So, just a little bit of information on how often should you change that workout program? The answer, it depends on where you're at, how advanced you are, and where you want to go. So hopefully this information was useful, and hit me up on the web at smashstrengthlab.com.